back to my channel. Well, we have completed another year full of ups and downs and all kinds of swings with pandemics and you name it. It's been a very interesting and trying year. Although it's been a very interesting year for me personally and professionally, it's also been actually the most productive year I've had in terms of video games. I know last year, those of you that may have seen that or are following the games that I've beaten or played may notice that last year was my most successful video game year ever. Hi kitty, you're back again for some more talking? No, don't go in my coffee. You want to say hi? Oh, you want to say hi? Yeah. Yeah, you want to say hello to everybody? Yeah. But yes, last year was one of my most productive gaming years. I think it was, almost 50 games or something like that. This year, I have completed 64 games. That is ridiculous. That's crazy. Some of these games are long RPGs, some of them are short games, some of them are games that I missed out on when I was younger and didn't have an opportunity to play games on the NES or Super NES. And so I'm sort of experiencing these games for the first time, and it's been really fun and really enjoyable. One of the highlights that I got to do this year was actually play a Kirby game. So I played one of the original Kirby games that were on the Nintendo Switch for the NES, and really fun. Kirby and Dreamland, I think it was. Very fun. I had a lovely time. Really easy game, nothing complicated, but I thoroughly enjoyed my time. But back to the task at hand, which is going through the list of 20 games that I wanted to beat in the year 2021. And I posted here on the channel those games and some thoughts as to why I picked them. And so now I'm going to go through the games and see actually if I beat them all. So the ones I want to get through first are the ones, and I have a list here, are the games that I don't have physical. Either in the case of one of them I seem to have lost it, lost the physical case, so that's not good. So to jump right in, the first one is a game that my daughter actually bought. One year she was playing on the PlayStation 4 and she accidentally bought something, and I thought, hey, I've actually never played that game. In the previous video I said it was Sonic Heroes. It was actually Sonic Forces. I actually bought Sonic Heroes myself, but Sonic Forces was the one that she bought, and it was really fun. I have to say, I did not expect to be able to design and make your own character. That blew me away. I was very surprised by that. It was a short game, a lot of fun though. Fast paced, which is what you want from a Sonic game. I haven't played a Sonic game in quite a while, so for me it was very fun to come back to that, and it really gave me that Sonic pick-me-up that I wanted. It was fast, fun, furious. I liked the progression, I liked the story of it. For me it was wonderful. I thought it was a good game, and a game that I would instantly recommend to anybody who has not played a Sonic game in a while. I know it might not have been well received and had a great reception from what I've seen, but I personally enjoyed it. I liked the customization, the character creation, and so on. It was good. The next game on my list is Pokemon Platinum. So I wanted to beat Diamond and Pearl, and I made a last minute switch to that to go to Platinum. And my reasoning for that is because of the new Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl that were coming out, and I didn't want to have to play something that was very similar to that, because I heard they were making them as faithful remakes, possibly, and we now know for sure that they were. So I thought, well, I'll play Platinum because everybody says it's the best one to play. I personally owned Pokemon Diamond, so I went through and when I was a kid and played it, but just never finished it. Well, I finally finished the original on the DS, and it was really fun. Pokemon Platinum was a lot better than Diamond and Pearl. There was less restrictions, more Pokemon. I just liked it. It was overall a way better game, and I personally really enjoyed it. It was still balls hard. It's a hard Pokemon game. Cynthia, even now in the remakes, she's a badass boss to beat. She is tough, and it was a really fun time, and I really enjoyed going through Pokemon Platinum. It was really, really, really nice. The next game on my list is a game that I got on PC. I thought I had it on the PlayStation 4, but I was mistaken. And that was the original Assassin's Creed, so the Assassin's Creed 1. And so I bought it on the PC this year, and I've played every single Assassin's Creed game, but I've never finished them. It's sort of like Zelda for me. I play a lot of Zelda games, but I've never beaten a Zelda game. So I'm setting out to correct that, and I want to beat the Assassin's Creed games. So Assassin's Creed 1, I played it. It's a little dated. Yeah, it's buggy as hell. There's a lot of little bugs and things in there. Graphics, I'm okay with. They were pretty good. But you can see where the whole franchise got its roots. The climbing mechanism, the various towers where you're climbing up and you dive off for the eagle view. A lot of the framework that was within the Assassin's Creed games, you can see where it developed here. And I really appreciated that. And I personally, haven't played this game in forever, going back, I felt right at home. And it was so nice to revisit the Middle East and Jerusalem and all that. I just had a wonderful time, great aesthetic. Love the story aspect, of course. Later on, I found some of the story aspect got a little bit wonky and weird, but I didn't mind it here. I know some of the plot points that they drop in the original Assassin's Creed never get re-mentioned again, but anyways, it was very fun. I enjoyed it. It's another fast, quick game. I just loved it. Absolutely wonderful. The next game that I have on my list here that I don't have a box for is the original Zelda. Now, I decided to play the original Zelda, not because I played it before. I actually had never played it. Because growing up I never had an NES, so I never experienced the original Legend of Zelda. But this year on my list was to beat Breath of the Wild. And I heard that Breath of the Wild took a lot of inspiration from the original Zelda. And I thought, you know what, I should go back and play the original Zelda and see, where they got their inspiration from. It might give you some more insight into Breath of the Wild. And I have to say, I remember booting it up on my Switch, played it through the NES store or whatever that they give you for having online play, and spent the first maybe, 5 hours just exploring. And I came across all kinds of cool stuff. I came across, secrets and hideaways and caves, and I stumbled on a temple, to go in, or like a dungeon. Very cool stuff. I really loved that exploration, and it was really fun. After about the first 5 hours of that, I kind of got frustrated because you still are just moving around exploring, and I thought, this is getting really confusing. I'm backtracking, I don't know where I'm going, I'm starting to get lost, I don't know what to do. So that's a game that I think definitely benefited from having a guide. I know back in the day there was all kinds of things on Nintendo Power and all kinds of guides that were for, in print of course, back then for the original Zelda. They give hints and tips and tricks and so on. So I thought, hey, I'll do the same here. And it made it much more enjoyable. And it's such a great piece of gaming history to see where the whole franchise started. And you can see where a lot of great ideas that now blossomed into all the whole Zelda franchise has come from. It's just wonderful to see the different enemy types and the mechanics that started here at the original Zelda and became this wonderful series that so many of us love today. So I really enjoyed it for that. Once I got a guide, it was much easier and I found it much more enjoyable. Yes, it was challenging, even with a guide at times, but I still had a lot of fun playing the original Zelda. Now the next game that I want to talk about is a game that was on my list for 2020 to beat. But because of a whole host of things and losing a save file, I just never got around to it. But then the save file came back right at the end of the year, and that was Dragon Age Inquisition. This is a massive RPG. I love the Dragon Age series, and this game really was fun. I spent so much time being, actually becoming an Inquisitor, sitting in the throne in your castle, handing out judgments, fighting, raiding, going through and fixing the world, and I just really had fun with this, getting rid of the blights and things, closing the rifts. I absolutely love this game, and I put a lot of time into this, well over 80-90 hours. This was such a fun game for me, and anybody who likes action RPGs, who likes role-playing, who likes even D&D, this is so much of a D&D game. I've actually had campaigns that I've played through with my friends on D&D based on this world. And it's absolutely wonderful. Absolutely. If you ever have a chance to play it, you should totally play it. It's a great game. Now the next game on my list, and I wasn't sure to include it on here, but is the DLC for Sword and Shield. So at the time when I made the list, my daughter and I, and my daughter's now 3, she loves Pokemon. And it just warms my heart because I love Pokemon too. And now my youngest daughter, Ellie, who's only a year and a half, she loves Pokemon too. Now, and I just love it. It's just so happy to see them play it. But the DLCs, Isles of Armor and the Crown Tundra, there's about maybe 22 hours or maybe 30 hours worth of content there, and I thought that's about enough of it for a full game if it was to be a standalone title. So let's include it. And I did that, and I liked it. The dojo going through the Isles of Armor was great. I enjoyed that. Mustard was funny. I thought he was a funny character. The Crown Tundra, that whole backstory, I thought that was fun. Getting the legendaries was a lot of fun. So, it's a Pokemon game. Had still some issues that I had in the original review of Sword and Shield. But overall, great game. Had fun. The next game that I've mentioned already that I wanted to beat was The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. This game is absolutely freaking ginormous. When I got this with my Switch all those years ago when it first was released, this game intimidated me because it is so ginormous and huge. And, I have a lot of thoughts on it, so I might make a separate video on it, but it's a good game. I don't think it's perfect by any means, so there's a lot of people out there who think it's the best game in the world. I have a lot of weird things and feelings about this game. It was fun. I enjoyed, especially the first, 5, 6, 7 hours, especially when you're in the plateau area, the starting area for the tutorial. I thought that was done beautifully, and I loved it. The 3 first shrines, or the 4, were they 4 first shrines, whatever, they're wonderful. Thought they were great. A lot of great concepts in here. I hope that with the second one, with all the different issues that other people have brought up about the game, I hope Nintendo takes it seriously and tries to implement those to make this even a better game, because there were some glaring issues with this. But overall, a good addition and a very big switch up for the Zelda franchise. Very, very different. It sometimes didn't even feel like I was playing a Zelda game. I felt like this could have been some other character and could have been its own IP, because it was very, very interesting, very, very different. But I liked it. I liked it overall. But yeah, maybe I might make a video about that some other time. But it was a good game. I spent well over 120 hours in that game. So you see, so far, pretty heavy RPGs already, and a lot of time was spent into that. The next game on my list is a game that I played all the way back in the original PlayStation days, and that is the original Spyro, Year of the Dragon. And that brought back so much memories. I remember playing this right around my birthday in June, and having a blast. And I remember the reason why I played it then was because I played the original with my friend who owned all of the various consoles and games and things. Playing this in the summer, right around before summer break happened in school. Here in Canada, if you're in grade school, you go right to the end of June. So it was around that time that we played this. And so I wanted to do that again, and holy, it was just wonderful. I loved it, and then my daughter fell in love with it, and my wife didn't, so they wanted to start their own save files, and what a wonderful memory. My daughter got really good at it, and really had fun. And as I said, she's only 3, and so that was real fun, and I was so happy to experience that and share that with them. The next game on my list is a game that frustrated me greatly, but less so than the first iteration, and that was Crash 2. This, from the Insane trilogy, it truly is insane. It truly is difficult. It truly is very, very, very hard. I remember as a kid playing this over at my friend's, the same friend who had all those other consoles I just mentioned, playing it there, playing levels. It was hard. Easier than the first one, I would say, but it was hard. It took me a lot longer than what they recommended that you should take time to beat these games. But I had fun. Platforming's good. I'm looking forward to doing the third one. The last game for this particular video, because I'm breaking this up into 2 parts, is a game that everybody knew, who knows me at all, knows I love and was going to play. And it was on my list, and that was Mario 64 from the Mario's 3D All-Stars collection. And my reasoning for that is I haven't played Mario for quite some time. And for those of you that know, Mario 64 holds a very special place in my heart because that was only my first game that I got for my first ever console, the Nintendo 64. But it's also a game that my father and I used to play and bond over, and I have a lot of great memories of that. And my father passed away in 2018, actually right before my daughter was born, which is very sad. But I haven't played Mario 64 since then, and I used to play it quite often, but since then I hadn't. And so to honor my father and the thinking of my dad when this came out, I thought, I'm going to play this around his birthday, which is in April. And it's exactly what I did. And it was tough, I have to say. The game's just as wonderful as it always has been. I know all the secrets, all the stars, it was great. I had a lovely time. But it's sometimes emotional for me at certain levels, like when you're racing the penguin. I did it the first try, no problem. But as a kid, I got stuck on that every damn time. And my dad had to help. But I did it perfectly the first time, being an adult, being able to do things a little easier than I was as a kid. Just, hits you in the feels, and even now I'm starting to think, and get a little emotional about it. But it was a really, really good game, and I really liked it. And I'm actually right now, currently, the year's not over quite yet. I have another, couple of days still. I'm right now playing through Mario Sunshine. Now that's a whole other can of worms, a very different game. I have some very interesting thoughts on that. It's overall, I'm enjoying it, but there's some other things that I'm not too happy about with that game. But yeah, so those are the first 10 games that were on my list. And so stick around for part 2 of the games that I've beaten this year. So take care, guys, and we'll talk to you guys later.